on it, and it was all the other maps that sort of really took a much of the extra time. But then it became a thing of where everyone else learned how to play it, and that's why I like how, you know, Anubis got adopted really early. Lots of teams seem to be adopting Ancient as well, a bit more shy than Anubis, but there's a much more map diversity here, which means that, yeah, Nuke has a lot more rounded to it. But outside of that, we've got Vertigo. That's the one that we're going to be setting our focus onto right now. And LFO, as mentioned, a 16-12 victory on Inferno. They start off hot on their map selection. It's on to VERTEX to see if they've got what it takes on Vertigo Komodo, or will LFO be joining Greyhound at IEM Sydney 2023?
Let us find out in the here and now with a pistol round to start off things. This choice of map by VERTEX, which means LFO, opting to start on the defensive side of CT. Already, however, Licky the only soldier at this B site on the site itself because Savage is down at the stairs. Will he be snuck out? No.
Well done. Great open up. Sort of puts a little bit of a stopper on any level of offense here from VERTEX as they edge their way back towards the A position for now. But still, you know, there is some sight set from Sterling watching down that ramp. So really a lot of control held by the CTs.
Yeah. Player advantage, but you still do have this utility that VERTEX can throw for a bit of an execute. They want to try and contest back over towards B. A run boost at the moment there. Make sure he clear the corner quickly that Savage took out Malta. 50 seconds to go, though. Wouldn't actually mind seeing LFO stick in the bit, get a rotation. That's what we're starting to see from Apoc Dud. He's got a smoke and a flash. Hazard, if anyone heard that drop, it could have revealed a lot. You're just lucky that the players are setting the back of sight here.
Yeah, definitely. All the way back, very relaxed. Now some information gathered. Licky is going to be able to hold on, though. Another taking down Hazard. Movement is good. They certainly feel like they have to be heading towards this site of B right now, and Peasy can't quite connect these shots onto Licky. Still alive. An iron wall right now, this man. Savage getting another. It is looking way too clean here for LFO. 10 seconds, bomb dropped. Literally nothing that they can do here, and the round is just done.
Yes, all Hats needs to do is the player who's the furthest away is run. PZ needs to die before the time expires, which he's going to manage to do, which means that is a stalwart defense over at the B site. That is no entry permitted from the beginning to the end. Such a pivotal pistol for LFO.
Big moves. 3 for 3 on the pistol so far, Komodo. For this series for LFO. Rubbing their hands together, I'm sure, at this point in time. You know, what it would mean for these players to join. I actually am trying to think back to remember if any of these players have been a part of a historic IEM Sydney. I don't know. Sort of, we've run it back and
early.
No, I actually don't know if he did. Was Order Hats there? Maybe.
I don't know. It would only be Hats or Malta as being available anyways, from who we've got in the server.
Correct.
Anywho, a second round achieved for LFO. This is the time that we can get a bit more weaponry in the hands of VERTEX. Though it's going to be quite the light investment of utility.
Much to ponder.
Yeah, 4 flashes in its entirety for VERTEX. Wonder how much space they're going to be able to gather with those. You're going to have to be a little bit more reliant upon your smokes and your mollies. Already invested a couple of them over towards the B site. Meanwhile, we see just an immediate gathering of this A ramp for VERTEX. Grenades stacking up. Oh, does a decent chunk of damage to put these MP9s within a potent field.
Slowing it down again. Just an early prod for VERTEX. Having a look. But nothing comes through. So they are going to waltz their way back towards B. No control taken by LFO. It's just Savage sitting backside. Malta has a sniff. Tries to clear out the stairs.
Minutes to go. It's still enough time for some breathing room. But again, 3 smokes, 3 flashes. They're all going to potentially have to be used just for the entry. And meanwhile, LFO don't have enough utility for themselves either. Sterling dispatches of Brace out yonder. He can start to focus on B.
Great hold. Savage has been just a pivotal member to this roster. Still firm hold. More relaxation. And VERTEX start to pick up the pace back towards the other side of A. Or are they just saving?
I think you have to. You got no utility to get back in towards the site. You lose Brace and you lose Malta and you look flustered. Try and go again. I think the plan of action for VERTEX, it did get shut down before they can start it. A lot hindered on Brace actually getting that utility set up for himself at B as well. And he wasn't able to contribute. So I think that's a bit of a problem for VERTEX in this round. And just a stolen round from LFO. 2 players upgrading from those MP9s. Again, this is probably the best start that you do want as LFO going into this game.
They had the good start. Obviously, back on Inferno. Very, very similar. But of course, it was on the T side where they found that early success. And for now, at least VERTEX, you know, they've got something to work with into this round. They can make the reinvestment. But it's going to be straight up mid for Addict. Wow, the pace behind him. Licky was ready for it, though, so he's going to fall off the hump.
Yeah. Gonna see an opportunity maybe permitted where the opening goes to LFO again. PZ caught in the wall. That's one of those big old guns and potentials taken away from this round. So far being navigated well again from LFO. Holding over towards Plateau, looking to re-engage in that location. Gonna see potentially Addict go towards mid, but if there's any pressure from LFO that they go his way, it's gonna be information for LFO that VERTEX are setting up around one of these bomb sites. It's most importantly going towards the A side of the map where they're going to have to recontest with Hats and Sterling, who's already pushed down the apple. And they don't know whatsoever.
Not ready at all. Malta does get the trade, but Hats is there to respond quickly. Avenging his fallen soldier. Now Brace has to go looking. Is there an M4 there? No, it's an AK. And Licky's already taken down Addict. And I think at a distance, you know, Apoc Dart is going to be able to do the chip damage. Hats to close. So, yeah, it's a very, very solid start here for LFO. And I mean, again, you know, you can never count VERTEX out until it really starts to drag through. But every single round that LFO put up is more and more call for concern for VERTEX, who are looking really lacking of confidence throughout this series so far.
Yeah, I mean, I want to throw into the mix what quickly this map has looked like for LFO in the past, right? A couple of losses in the IEM Dallas quals when it was the previous roster against the likes of Order and VERTEX. But beyond that, there was a streak where LFO was so dominant on this map at the end of 21 with that core encore that no one really contested them on this very map. I'm getting early vibes from the core of Savage and Sterling and Licky that they still remember what this map is and how they play it.
Spot on.
Just this AK for Addict, remember. No flashes anymore. It's dry jewels, 2 smokes and a HE. Meanwhile, for Sterling, he has to fall back 3 HP for himself. Can set up a smoke for a teammate. A minute still to go. Sterling, I don't know if bail him out, but PZ with P250 gets Hats. This is a good start for VERTEX.
Nice and quick move. Rolling it on through. Good response. Good damage. This is what I mean about not looking to count VERTEX out early on. Savage just has to waltz away for a save. Malta gets the plant, and 4 alive would be a very big result for VERTEX here.
Absolutely. Take away a couple of these guns into the next round as well for Savage. I mean, yes, LFO have money that they can reinvest, but this is the first bit of loss bonus for them, meaning Apoc Dud doesn't actually get a lot. He will be requesting a drop, and this situation is actually going to allow LFO to get their AWPs out as well. They don't need to be just dropping out a weapon. So it's not a bad idea for them to just keep this AK anyways for Savage. Have a bit of a chat.
This is what I love about having good people watch along this broadcast. I was just given the insight, you know, talking about who has played at an IEM Sydney before from these 2 rosters, and Sterling.
It was Sterling,
back in the day with Chiefs, yeah.
Well, that would have been 2017 or 18, right?
Have to think back. But
would it have been the first or the second one?
Let's have a look.
Well, meanwhile, while you get through that, I'll
yeah, hit me.
perform with this one. Orbs out for PZ as well for Vertex with their full stable purchase. And meanwhile, Sterling's got his out for LFO as well, with all of the guys getting the weaponry that they do want. So this is going to be our first real test at a massive purchase. And it's straight into the B stairs, the 1-on-1 trade. Has already dropped. I don't know if they've heard this one, but now the jump, he has to get out of dodge. As PZ dispatches old Sterling, it's going to be a player advantage for Vertex.
Found an image. Have to look at it later. Always does run me back seeing Sterling inside that Chiefs jersey. We've had such a rich history of Counter-Strike, haven't we?
Yeah.
But the advantage, the way of Vertex right now.
I know Sterling's played IEM Katowice with Greyhound.
Yes. Yes,
but
correct.
I don't think there was a an IEM. Sydney. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, this player advantage for Vertex, however, they have kind of put the brakes on. See what Hazard can do over at the B side. He's going to be baiting out a bit of utility from Hats, who's going to drop on down. There's more members for Vertex over at Bravo site.
Straight up to the position now. They do have it all under control. Hazard's going to be able to make quick work of Hats, though. So I think that's going to be another runaway. Call the save, LFO. Hold on to the weapons that they have. And they are going to have a repurchase into it, I'm sure. Savage has still got money in the bank. So it's going to be A-okay for another round for LFO. But Vertex starting this chip away on a resurgence.
Yeah, one round after another for Vertex, surviving with a lot of members as well. That will build a bit of good economy for a bunch of these players, but it's still a workable situation for LFO. If I can read right, Savage is still over $7,000, so he'll be able to drop a weapon over to Apoc Dud, who will gift the AWP over to Sterling, one would presume. We'll see what this next round shift does look like, whether or not we're going to have another contest from LFO over at those B stairs. If they want to do the standard set of utility over towards a ramp, or if they want to go for a little bit of a contest in towards mid. Bit of a challenge there. We've seen Addict lurking about nice and early on.
So do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
2018, Chiefs, Apoc, Sterling, Flicks, Texter, Tux. That is a throwback.
There you go.
Straight in.
Oh,
really quick. My God, Malta. Opens up nicely, and Apoc Dud was taken so damn low on this contest as well, Komodo.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I was just saying that they potentially could go quick again through the B stairs for another challenge. They lose it out, expected from Vertex. Player spawn permitted for Malta there. Really wrap it in.
Back to the patient route once more.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
If there's any further positioning.
Wouldn't mind Apoc Dud getting the AWP. I know he's not really an AWPer, but on 15 HP, you just post him somewhere. If you want to make him sit pretty. Sterling is on this midline, however, so the rest of the team are going to go exploring.
Was an AWPer in a former life, old Apoc Dud. Now sort of more so on the entry IGL role. So if he needs it, he can make it work.
Ooh.
But instead, they just choose to go walkabout down towards the ramp. And that's a great flash. PZ gets so much info off the back of that. He can call for the speed up now.
Yeah, Sterling finding Brace, and he's going to drop onto the B side itself, but he can get collapsed upon by the stairs. By the platform. I don't think they spotted him get here. No, they did. PC, that's through the wall of the girder. That's insane.
No way. They would have seen the gun barrel and known where he is, of course, but still to hit that shot. Has to connect onto the head, and Peasy gets it done. Loves a wallbang. And now with 25 seconds, they have to continue forth on this side. Hats, does he go hunting for it? It looks like he will. He will reposition. He gets one. Can he find enough time? 20 seconds onto the plant. Peasy's got the line. He has to wait.
Oh, and a big shot out from PZ as well. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams, but apparently PZ can shoot through them to solidify a round for Vertex. Forcing them on back with that AWP. This will be a third.
Another save. That's back-to-back-to-back save rounds now for LFO. Just playing this emotional tug of war that they've got right now, which is a really, really rough position to be in. You do not like that at all if you're an LFO fan. But the main thing is they do still hold on to the lead. But it's been this early aggression from Vertex, getting a pick or two, and then basically sitting and waiting pretty before they can find a site control. So Vertex are only going to bring themselves into one round, so they get off the floor much earlier in the map of Vertigo than they did previously on Inferno.
What will the buy look like for LFO here, though? Apoc can technically get out an AWP to give to Sterling and be left with a donut. I think you put a little bit more emphasis on utility here and you shuffle over what you still can with your standard set of rifles if you want to go for a force. The situation is still early on that they can try and recover, but it is a little bit wiser to just hold on to what you've got from the last round. Carry over with minimal effort. See what these A1Ss can cook. Get the guns up in the next round if you're expecting the tied score. And PZ to dispatch of Savage whilst blinded. That's an A1S down. I love this boost. I like it more in pistol rounds, but it's not bad when you find Hazard. So much suspense being built up right now. Got an idea if you're Vertex of where Apoc is, where that A1S is.
Just really buying time. Seeing how long they can make this work for. Not wanting to lose out a round like this again, you know. Continuing a position where financial pressure is only going to put further strain. Vertex want this comeback, but they're leaving it so late in the round now as they start to make their way up towards 8.
Yeah,
Sterling's got the timing.
I don't know if it's going to be much impact, though, because it's just Deeg.
Good shot from PZ. But there's the Deeg. Does get traded out quickly by Brace, though. 2 on 3. Licky in a good position, but he's been spotted, so... I don't think it's... Okay, never mind. They are trying to go for it at least. Probably a save from Licky now. But another round where Vertex, slow and steady, win the race.
Yeah. Tied up. We will have at least another buy to come through from LFO in this next round, as I say. It feels like the Vertex have started to get a wriggle on what's working for them. PZ getting them shots in. Another multi-frag for the man. This will be a good test, though, when you do have the guns back in the hands of the CTs. I kind of want to see a different play from them, though. I don't want to just see this Groundhog Day at the B stairs. Where does the early set of utility go? Where do the players go? Sterling on this AWP is something that's going to interest me in this round. It's going over towards the A side of things nice and early for a scaffold peak. Potentially, no, setting up a bit of standard utility early on. You hear the echoing out of the T side AWP, but you start to feel a little bit of pressure if you are Hats. Starting to hear this utility, this creep up the ramp. That molly is well timed to keep them at bay for now.
On the line, Sterling. Hits the opener. Good trade.
Another.
No! It's a flick away for Sterling. Still continuing to make it work, and he's in an awkward line, but Apoc does get it back. Sterling now, the lone soldier. Licky does show up to support, and it's all left on to Addict.
Yeah. Bomb to be retrieved from Addict as well. Sterling will spot that one out, but a re-challenge. Sterling, that's a little bit more vintage from the man. Holding true with the AWP. LFO reclaim the lead, but it does mean we're going to get a nice investment yet again from Vertex. Another big one as well here, Mitch. Love these rifle rounds. I love the affordance that the current situation is committed for in this one. Back to the B stairs yet again. I can't believe it. Expecting a different result, LFO. And it's going to be granted.
Really good response there. Savage stepping up to the plate again. He's taking a lot of damage though here, which does make it awkward. If he goes down, it's back to a 2-on-2.
Yeah, but he has to kind of get a little bit of help from his teammates. That little generator, but he is so low. They're just trying to flush him out with a bunch of his utility. Now Sterling is here. The shot ships damage. It's 2-on-2. The trade, the miss. He splits the wickets through the legs. And it's all onto Hats, a situation that shouldn't have happened. But it's been read as well, hasn't it? Brace, an idea of where Hats is coming from. And they just settle.
Hats. How does he prove? How does he push? Brace isn't going to be ready for it. Not at all. And now that bomb is close.
Oh, he smoked
How does
himself
Hats
off.
go for the approach? Exactly.
PZ can go up.
He must think it's A.
I mean, PZ can plant to his heart's content. He doesn't need to overcomplicate things here. It'd be a risk for Hats to just push through that smoke in knowing that's where the main fight was as well. He's got so many angles that he would need to look at. So as the smoke starts to fade, PZ starts to get to the side. He might have actually played himself a little bit here. If Hats gets on the plateau, here's the plant. He'll get that information now. Will PZ find a nick of timing? He's gonna retreat.
I do like this reposition from Hats.
Oh, the noise. Was that heard? Yeah, PZ's
he's
moving
giving it a
already.
shot.
Yeah.
Yep. That's enough of an audio cue. In both ways. Has the molly. All he needs to do is buy time. Hats.
Did you stick it? Surely.
He's just made more sound though. You know, the metal floor. He hears it all.
There's no time for a
He
fake.
can just continue to wait. He's run away now. That Molotov. Oh, it's going to be enough.
Wow, what a
Does Hats
shot.
have it? He should.
He's got a kit, so
He
yeah.
does.
Wow,
Of
what a
course.
shot, actually, to come through from Hats in that situation. You know, the silence from PZ. You'll have to consider where he's coming from. PZ runs, he tucks away, he has the molly, electing to draw into the fact that it might actually be a real stick and not use the molly, just backing yourself with your weapon. Unfortunately, the wrong decision in that current point in time. A timeout for a flustered Vertex.
Such a back and forth game. Like, 10 rounds has felt like 20.
Yeah, I agree.
The way that these have been going down. The full 2 minutes utilized almost every time. And, you know, we've had the plants, the extra 40 seconds thrown in there as well. It is just a game of mental gymnastics
And
for both of these teams.
And the importance on it deserves it.
Oh, yeah. Anything less would be a disappointment, really.
Yeah.
That's why we want 3 maps, right? It feels like it needed to deserve it after it was 4 lots of 2-0s yesterday.
Alrighty, new round. See if LFO can chase a half lead. This is another buy round for Vertex, who are just absolutely laying down flashes at this B side at the moment. Savage does need to be careful because the flames are already going towards him, and he's just going to get stuck. He can't even get the shot
that's a
on out.
bad
But Licky
position.
here, brace for the trade. Mitch, player advantage for Vertex.
How does Apocdad go here, though? He's been caught out. Does manage to find the frag because there was that hesitancy from Vertex. Brace has made the call. And he's actually managed to find Apoc in the slither of the smoke, and Hats punished as well. So now Sterling has a really awkward one about where the hell does he go with it here. He's definitely going to be saving, but again, that bomb's still yet to make its way towards a site.
Yeah. Savage really needed to almost sit in the flame for a second and have Apocdad swing from the side itself. Or maybe even Licky, you know, if there was just someone there to swing before he peaked when they were all trained on him.
Hang on. Hang on.
That's the bomb. Nah, they know.
Oh, okay. I mean, Axis was just playing very, very cautiously, but at least Sterling, you know, did put himself in a spot to find it. If he found that and dropped the bomb, maybe there was a world, but Vertex, 5 rounds, 1 round away, finally a full eco for after holding on to just dregs of equipment, and that will be their first call for a tactical timeout.
Yeah. Within 1 as well. You know, this is most likely going to be a tied up scoreline again. Unless we see a mockery on this game and the USPs win it out. Because I laugh about it, I joke about it. If you missed it in the last map, folks, that's what happened. We saw a full eco win. It had 2 grenades purchased. This time there's 3 in a flash. So, got a little bit more to cook with. A little bit more succulent.
Let him cook.
But Vertex are chasing this tie. They're also chasing the lead after the fact. They want to send us to nuke.
Mate, they're chasing the win. Anything
Yeah.
less and they'll be burning inside. We know it. You know, to have 2 of limited international opportunities stripped away from you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
technically not international, right? Yeah, it's on Aussie soil, but, you know,
The caliber
a
of teams.
prestigious event, exactly.
It's an international, you know, for majority of the teams. Anyways.
The fact that we're going to have 16 of the best teams in the world all here in Sydney, Australia is a big thing. Even just practice, you know, even just being a part of that list, getting those scrims in before the event.
Well, the USPs are at the correct side at the moment for this gamble.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
Clean up.
That's the pass mark. You're fine with that.
3 alive is good. That's all we really need from here now. That's absolutely fine. So, tied up scoreline after what feels like an absolute eternity of just slowed down rounds. But here we go.
To be stairs or not to be stairs, I feel like that's one of the decisions for LFO at the moment. And for Licky, well, it is to be stairs. Just with the HE grenade. Sterling on the opener. Pressure in towards mid. Needs to be bailed out. Some assistance at the plateau, but it will simmer. It'll settle. I just saw a rolling smoke grenade on the floor. I bet Malta or PZ would have loved to grab that. Big
A little bit of a trade back, yeah. That's something. Something to work with. But LFO have a level of stability in this round.
Yeah, the problem always feels like for Vertex at the moment that as soon as they rip these smokes, they have to go with them. There's a minute left. Otherwise, you need to see an extension from LFO. And that's what Savage is kind of doing. Once bitten, twice shy. He's playing with fire in this current location, but he's got a spot addict. The backpack, the headshot is going to jump up. They're going to do it together. Savage is dead to rights. Oh,
like
no, the timing.
He's picked up at least one and he's done damage to Addict. The exact same merit now. Licky can reposition. But they do freeze again. They do start to pump the brakes once more. Addict has started to charge, but Licky will be able to find him. Brace and Peasy, only ones here. Brace does manage to drop APOC dub, but he takes the chip damage. Licky's still here. Flash up, trying to get that control. Exactly. Where does Peasy go? That smoke might give him actually some presence, but it's a 1v3. And make that a none v2.
Yeah,
good round.
Trade.
Good recovery. And that's going to be LFO picking back the lead. 7 rounds.
And as I said, as soon as those smokes are ripped, essentially, you have to go with them as well, right? You lose Malta early from that brace, that boost, rather, where then Attic gets that trade onto Savage. But by that point in time, it's enough time for LFO to get these rotations on over, and they can just play with it. Their plant has to go down from Vertex in a 2 versus 3, meaning that they're so vulnerable from being taken out and you can't win that round. So just very well placed from LFO there.
Definitely.
Now we have a timeout for them to consider things, their second one. This is definitely where if you get shut down in this round, you could be conceding a 9-6 loss at this half, going over to the CT side, where we'll hopefully see a bit more strength come through from Vertex. But you also have to remember, in the series the other day, the CT side was where Vertex...
Where LFO have to get the hell out of there, try and save these weapons into the final round. Like, LFO have saved 6 or 7 rounds now, at least where they've saved something, right? A rifle or 2, doesn't matter. They just haven't been in a position where they can really go for this fight. And it's going to be a tied scoreline here, 7-7.
And it's one of those things as well, as soon as Vertex realize that AWP is locked in towards the side hole, they know that they can just pincer on towards the site. They put the focus away from Sterling for a short second, keep him entertained with the idea that someone could be pushing through the scaffold area and wrap him as well. And made an Mac 10 to just jump on him. It's a really nice execution from Vertex when they realize where Sterling is, and that they take hats immediately with that Mac 10 early on too. So now we move into the last round of this half, and it's going to look a little bit lackluster for LFO. The A1S and the FAMAS, you got that AK still carried over from the previous, but apart from that, you're not going to have too much to back it up because you need your utility on a map like Vertigo. If you permit Vertex entry in, you're not going to get a retake happening.
So straight down. Looking for that early utility damage down the ramp again, but this time nobody's going to fight the contest. It's going to be another slow starting approach from VERTEX. A little bit of pepper onto Malta, but he likes his food spicy.
Pot shots out from PZ. Brace very far forward up the A ramp in front of this utility. He's going to hear that smoke pulled from Sterling. Will he have an idea on how close he actually is?
I feel like they're in a good position here. Yeah, the head of Sterling's going to be spotted. They should be able to pick up the pace from here now. Hats has to creep his way in towards the side hall. And as Malta looks to get moving a little bit, they are just still playing it ever so patient here. Smoke goes up. Site control looks to start to be taken here in towards the position now. And there's Malta to find Hats too. So that's 2 for the picking. But still, 2 members here. It's only going to be Savage waiting towards that B site. But again, VERTEX don't seem to be overly confident to actually start to go for this. PZ's just going to be sitting at the sandbags as Licky keeps his focus over towards the side hall. Does he spot PZ? No. PZ's going to find it. Apoc Dud still is here at the elevators, but they start to just, again, freeze time, VERTEX, and get in the heads of LFO.
The thing is, VERTEX don't need to freeze time because they give an opportunity to just deny the plant with the incendiary that Savage has. They just need to regroup, go together into the site, get the plant, and then you can just focus on closing it down because now that Savage is here, okay, taken out. Onto Mr. Apoc Dud. See if he can lead his way into a 1 versus 5.
I back him. Do you? Absolutely not. Because that's the round, that's the half. And after a short break, we'll find out if we have map 3 or a closer for LFO. And welcome back. We are here again. With a 1-round advantage going the way of Vertex. Is it going to take it to that third map? Or are we, of course, going to see LFO close this strong and make their way to IEM Sydney 2023? Komodo, it's looking like Vertex have certainly found themselves back in, but LFO, they've won all the pistols so far.
They found a bit of their rhythm. Maybe Vertex are going to be able to continue on with this one, though, Mitch, because it's a 1-to-1 trade over at the other side of the map at the moment. Ray still does have a smoke. If Hats can win this duel, however, might be able to entry back over towards the B side if they want to, but this is a little bit of a wrap around the Rosie. This is a weird situation on the round.
LFO still continuing that charge, and it looks like they're going to have that perfect streak continue. Hazard.
Oh, that's a
his head ripped off. Yeah.
Yeah, burst mode on the Glock. When do you see that work?
Hat's really, really looking good. Like, he hasn't been, you know, popping off every game, but he's had a lot of impact throughout the every single match, really, this week, these last 2 days.
Yeah. Again, a good start, though. It's what you want. You know, I wouldn't have minded seeing a better half finish for LFO, but at least they get the pistol here. Rewarding if they are able to get this round as well.
So they just freeze it once more. LFO happy to maintain that control of the round that they have so far. Just looking for that slow waltz. It was a very similar approach from Vertex. Nothing overly quick on the team.
No one's going to be there for Vertex. It's not going to bait out of the utility either, so it can be... You want to see rotations from Vertex. You want to see it now. All of this utility. Hazard's just getting bombarded. And it's going to be a really slow waltz over from Vertex to get to this B site.
Yeah, a long way to go, and
are they just calling
I
it?
think it's just a save, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I mean, if you can't get a
Komodo.
retake because they've got the long guns, and they had bare bones utility behind it, actually, when you consider how much LFO just dumped into that one. Vertex are going to take in a little bit of loss bonus and get more utility. You can get MP9s. I mean, they're getting, what, 2,400 because of the bonus on the pistol, so see what you can do.
What an interesting game.
These are the decisions that are not taken lightly either, right? In such a high stakes environment that this game is, qualification to one of Australia's most prestigious, if not the most prestigious Counter-Strike event that we'll probably have in, you know, the last 5 years, right? It is the last one. It is the most amount of teams at the highest level of play in this game coming here to play.
I still remember
you want to be there.
That's it. I still remember how it felt to be in that arena when the crowd roared. That was before my time as a caster. Being in these games, you know, just a spectator, just a community member. Mucking around back in some of the lower tier games in this region. And then realizing truly what it meant to see professional Counter-Strike in front of your eyes. These 10 players want nothing more than to be a part of that. And not just as a spectator, but as a player. One of the 16 teams of the best.
Yeah. A minute 15 to go. LFO do still have a lot of this utility to go into this B side. Is it just going to be another situation where Vertex go for the save? I mean, they actually held everything without the investment into this round, so they'll get a proper purchase if they do lose this. So you kind of do want to just throw everything at this B site. You've got your kitchen sink. Grab that too.
Definitely. Certainly think that makes sense. To let that sink in. Hats has been taken relatively low though. So all this damage from the utility means that there is a level of opportunity for them to come back in. Has a great shot. That's a man that we need to see fired up in this match right now. And maybe that gives them a level of confidence to head back in towards this site. They are still showing hesitancy. They do get the flash in. They have got some utility, a smoke, a nade, enough to make it work. Addict, Malta getting some additional frags, and now it's just into this 3-on-2. Licky does manage to keep it still, but now the damage. Peasy hitting that shot. Sterling has to try and tap it away, and he will get it done. Sneaky beaky Malta
No
think his
smoke
feet were
criminal
showing.
today. It must have been his little tootsies sticking out, hey.
Potentially, the smoke didn't cover every position. He would have had to creep on the further corner left side of it to sit in the smoke. I'll let you figure out the brain bending situation on that one. But regardless, Sterling will clutch it through, which means that we do get this first buy from VERTEX. This solid buy. No AWP, I will add. And I still get the sense of no real hazard as well. You know, we were talking about earlier his silence in the first series. Like yesterday, popped off in the second. This is technically the first series for him. If you're talking about a late bloomer, now is the definition of the requirement.
Hazard has had some of the biggest individual performances throughout the Oceanic Counter-Strike history. Still remember the series where he had more than 100 frags back with Breakaway Esports many moons ago against Ground Zero in a best of 3. Parents, big supporters
Yeah, we do
of
love
the
that.
Oceanic Counter-Strike scene too. Few.
This is good. This is a good read. Dramatic right now. Awaiting for the to his head, but the timing is a little bit ill-timed. Licky trade.
Not for
Hazard.
naught. Hazard gets the trade.
Oh,
hats.
you hear that one, don't you? I think that's over at scaffolding. The Malta's just had a little bit of a cheeky peek. Now we've got Savage creeping in late through mid. The rest of the team regrouping at the A site. No one is home for VERTEX over there. And they don't have a lot of utility to go fully in. They can deny the plant, though. If they get these HEs or that incendiary down quick enough, there's a world here. Brace is the member at this A site early.
Yeah, they're really taking their time here, aren't they? Hats does find it, but Hazard does get the response. Can he do more? Can he deny that plant? Doesn't appear to be. Hats has taken some further damage. Makes it a 3-on-2. Hats actually dropped through that smoke as well, so it's back into a 2-on-2.
Incendiary
Galil
pulled from PZ.
at the sandbags.
Where does he want it? Side hole or sandbags? This is going to be the sandbags.
That's clear. Gets the info. Now the
can't
side
stop
hole.
it from
Apoc
there.
Dad has to try and go big. Are they going to set their focus there? It's going to be all about the timing. Hazard onto it. And Apoc Dad and Sterling to deny. So that's going to be LFO taking the lead. 11 rounds. 5 more, Komodo. 5 more is all they need to secure IEM Sydney 2023.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate at the end there as well, right? With the plant almost for side hole, you're waiting to see what are those two members put their utility towards, because if you molly side hole there, you can get someone on the bomb and you don't really have to contend with a massive swing out to deny the plant, right? Because they have to go completely out of the sandbags and charge into the
The action.
Yeah, but
Savage
it's
is
done.
so damn quick. And brace to close. So they are moving.
13-11. Things are starting to get out of control for LFO. Money situation. I mean, they can try and force here if they want, but do you almost just have to half buy and then play for full rounds of regulation?
Another tactical timeout called. Perfect time to do it for LFO. You know, they very much had the lead here. You know, you're almost starting to feel like they were going to close this one out. But then VERTEX have built this streak back of where they have just looked absolutely fantastic. It's what now? 5 rounds in a row for VERTEX. You know, it was straight off the back where LFO had that resurgence, 4 in a row straight out of the pistol. But the gun rounds have really been going VERTEX's way, and it is going to be just another kind of quasi-buy. Sterling, you know, went for the big buy, the Hero AK. The rest of the members just going to go for the Tech 9s, the Mac 10.
Yeah, it's all just gone downhill since that eco. Hey, a little bit bittersweet at the end, but we will see. Well, these pistols can charge up for the A ramp. That's tempting fate into the flames. Easy here with the AWP though. Got some backup from his teammates. Nice nade to finish off Hats. First casualty.
Oh, PZ. Really got hot under the collar there. Nade goes down, but I think he actually might get caught off. This could be 2 big kills, but no, Licky only wants to go for 1. He's happy with that. Now for the jump spot on the shoulder. I don't think they actually spotted anything up on the headshot line there, so it's going to be really awkward. Malta, though, waiting so patiently. He could get everything here. I don't know if they're actually going to clear it at all.
I don't think so. Another situation on not checking your corners for LFO can bite them in the butt. And Addict now with Malta are going to swing together to try and seal the deal on this one. In fact, maybe just Malta, a 3K already. Mitch looking for a 4th. It's just Licky.
AK back, 40 seconds. And he does look to recover the bomb. But Malta, I think, might just have his number. He's been spotted. He's been given info. And Licky creeps into the side hall. Malta actually just really only needing to buy time. Doesn't need to do anything from this position.
Starting to get an idea of nuke on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Vertex certainly putting in the effort. And there's the 4K from Malta at the end. This is the time for LFO. They have gone stale. 4 rounds in a row to start off this T side. But apart from that, it's now been 6 from Vertex. Kicked off by a damn eco victory.
It's what they needed. What they wanted.
Yeah.
And they seem to have that momentum behind them now, don't they?
Yep.
Not complaining at all. This side of Vertex. 2 more rounds is all that separates them and a 3rd map. And, you know, whilst obviously there's nowhere near a guarantee for them to reconvene or succeed on Nuke, you know, you can still certainly see it potentially come through. Savage has that control. How far does he want to go? He just wants to go 1 and done. He's happy with that because that's caught the rotation off.
Yeah. An advantage that's solely needed for LFO at the moment as well, unanswered. But it's going to draw a bit of rotation to assist this A side of things. Brace is starting to go through the middle of the map. He'll go down that ladder room. He can have a pretty decent flank a little bit later on. If his team can just buy time. I mean, I'm looking at LFO and none of them are aware of this fact in the moment. Why would you expect another player to go down where Addict just got removed?
Still buying a lot of time, though. PZ firmly trained on towards the ramp here. Apoc does still get to kind of make a bit of a move. Brace finds the opening. That's going to be a very key member in Sterling going down. Don't think PZ's actually going to be able to see just far enough. Maybe if it's on the right line, it is. Perfect spot from the boost. Does hit the shot, does connect. Now Licky looking to get that plant. Now PZ makes a move forward.
Get out. Got to situate yourselves for a retake. Oh my, what a shot from Licky. That's
the fadeaway.
That's to an A1S as well. You had no traces on that one, son.
Exactly right. Now for the one-way smoke from Savage. Hazza has to start to creep on in. They definitely want to be going for this here. It needs to be a fish forward. Just watch for that line. Hazza has spotted out 1. Has he spotted out a 2nd? No, not quite. Savage will be able to get it. PZ, though, looking to get up close and personal. He throw down the utility quick enough. Gets onto the tap. They have to try and clear. It's a quick flick from PZ. But he's got no time. And he has to just do the crime and the time. As Apoc does. Will potentially. Yes, he will. The AWP is in the hands, and LFO, they get 12. Oh, man. I mean, Vertex.
LFO fighting for a regulation victory. Otherwise, it's OT if they have any mistakes here, Mitch. That safety net that they had at the beginning of this half, gone. Vertex, another purchase afforded here. They lose this one, they'll have to take a half buy, and then maybe we see the 14-14. But a lot rides on Vertex's registry of what is happening in this round. A bit of utility already exchanged to the B stairs. No overextension from any of the Vertex members, in fact. Just playing towards the safety of these bomb sites. Brace starting to have a little bit of a look at the scaffolding over at the A side as well. There's 3 members for Vertex at A, 2 over towards B. A little bit of lapse in mid. They have to be concerned about that situation.
Man, this game is just so not over, is it?
Nope.
Not at all.
But we know that Vertex can certainly make this one over. Send us into Nuke. A minute to go on this round, and Hats is just getting peppered down.
Yeah, big damage onto Hats.
Can you dislodge Hazza here? Addict is at the back of the site. Do you just pre-fire the danger wall here? Do you just have an idea that Hazza's playing at Hazard?
Don't hurt yourself.
Fuck.
Still seems like it's the A site that they want. And Licky's going to find that opener. There's Hazard taken down from the danger position that you spoke about. Now Malta has to go creeping. Oh, he's making so much movement. And I don't think they're actually going to listen to the man that was at scaffolding. They've left him there. It's Sterling to find Malta. And now they start to put the pressure back on. Now they leave. Now they ramp it up towards A. Brace is there, though.
Brace.
That's going to be one for a denial. Can he cross or does he hold the line? He's still holding. Can Apogdad find the tap? No, it's Brace to get another. Peasy is there to hold on to more. It's a 2v2. There's only 5 seconds. And it looks like Peasy, does he want to go for the fight? I don't know. He's nervous. He's waiting. Addicts made the call, said, wait for me. I'm here now.
Oh, I'm surprised that he doesn't try and get up on the ledge and play towards the outer side of the map right now because he's going to fall back. There's no utility. 2 flashes. One on either side. Bomb. Half ticked. No smoke for protection. A single flash in. Licky is hiding. Tapped on the bomb. The
Game of cat and mouse. And I love this walk through mid here. They've completely slipped under the noses of Vertex. But Malta is ready for it somehow. Doesn't quite find the second, but surely they're going to be ready for this rotation now from Peasy. He moves in. He's made so much sound. And I don't know if that's going to lull Hazard into a false sense of security. It absolutely is. Now it's all onto Peasy on his lonesome. Has to jump up high. Has to go for more. And he's going to be taken down. That's another Licky. 13 rounds now. And oh God, Komodo, look at the money for Vertex.
Hey, all I'm saying is they've won an eco before. I think that's the nail on the head here. They are boosted by the fact that they have to go into this round with an eco. A timeout called from LFO. I kind of want them to see... Call one here, call one in the next round as well, right? Just use both of them. I guess you can hold it for OT, but... No, you get more. It's fine. But now is where we need to talk. We're not even thinking OT yet. We're thinking live rounds.
Man. 1 round separates Vertex with just some fresh air, I guess. But, I mean, at least they do have the dreaded OT in the back pocket if they need it. But LFO, that's what they're fighting for. And, you know, they drag it to overtime and you just start to wonder what may happen from there. Look at that utility damage on the hats early.
Yeah, that's huge. That gives the affordance for these pistols to actually do some serious damage. Meanwhile, you got PZ with an A1S as well, remember. He is currently situated over towards A at the scaffolding, so if you do navigate in towards this B site, you would be able to get a few check marks in the round. You gotta hit these openers, though, if you are LFO. You cannot afford another player, maybe that's not Hats, to lose their life. Be be playing essentially a 3 versus 5 in this one.
Util goes up. That's going to be Addict into a really awkward position. Has to throw his smoke. 55 seconds if Licky does make his way up to the danger wall, and he's going to be taken down, punished. Hazard gets the damage done. Bomb now dropped. Apoc Dud looking to try and clear Addict. He will be rewarded for it. He gets another as well. Apoc Dud huge, but Brace is there to deny it. 3v3. Hats finds the response now. It's looking like it's a bit of a challenge here for Vertex, but the M4s are up close. No, Savage still manages to live, but Malta, what? The 2 pistols, the 5.7s. Malta loves a pistol shot, and he checks. He does clear. He does find Sterling. Now the damage is dealt. 1 on 2.
Just
15 seconds.
He had to get the bomb. It was dropped. 10 seconds. He can't even afford a fake.
No way. He has to try stick it. He has to try find the frags. Malta's just playing time, and he's done it. Malta has found it. A massive 3K with the pistols there on the 5.7 Komodo. I cannot believe my eyes right now. This has been a stellar game. A series that deserved 3 maps, and that's exactly what we've got placed to us right now. An incredible run. So well being done here, and with Nuke around the corner, is there anything you need?